What's up guys, and welcome back to Gladiators Tribe, and today we're reviewing one of the most hyped up rackets of 2025, the Tecnifibre TFight 305s. Updated with the new structure of the beam, this thing should offer insane maneuverability while not compromising whatsoever on the stability and the penetration through the ball. If that's so, this should be one hell of a racket. A few weeks ago I reviewed the 300 brother of this thing, but this thing has a different, slightly denser string pattern and of course the slightly heavier weight. And with all that, this thing should be a very interesting beast. Check out the specs.
Постишь на инсту, не отвечаешь на комменты. Даже когда злишься, принимаешь комплименты. Утро ты на парах, ночь эксперименты. С тобой каждый день дифференты. С тобой каждый день дифференты. Забирал ее из уника. Моя малая уника. Принцесса, как из мультика. Сексуально даже в дутиках. Она на вкус как клубника. Никогда не выйти в
So Glads, I don't know what it is that Tecnifibre has been doing lately, but they've been doing really well. Signing more and more elite tennis players, releasing great strings and rackets, and finally figuring out their branding, because let's be honest, it was very far from being ideal just a few years ago, and it has been getting better and better every year. Talking about signing players, both Daniel Medvedev and Iga Swiatek, who endorsed Tecnifibre, were world #1s at some point, and the main similarity between them is the racket. They both play with the TFight series of rackets, Iga with the 300 version and Daniel with the 305, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that playing with these rackets will undoubtedly make you world #1, but who knows? Anyways, the new TFights have made a lot of noise. The amount of positive reviews and feedback from these rackets was just overflowing every social media platform that I have. And I have to say that it was actually well deserved. I could talk to you about how Tecnifibre has spent a lot of time and money on research and development of the new TFights, analyzing the modern tennis player by checking the specs of the rackets of the top 100 ATP, as they have access to those, being the official string partner of many ATP tournaments, and came to the conclusion that they need to lower the swing weight to make the racket more maneuverable, as that seems to be the trend in the ATP world, and they've stiffened the hoop at 9-3 to not hurt the penetration through the ball, and go into all the other details of the new TFights. But instead of doing that, which I kind of just did, I want to talk to you about how it actually will reflect on your game. And firstly, let me just say that this is an obvious improvement from the previous version, and I really wouldn't be surprised if Bublik and Medvedev actually played with these exact versions of the racket and not some other racket painted in the colors of the TFight or the previous version of it. So back to the presentation of this racket at the Tecnifibre event in Rotterdam. I was told that this racket's balance was shifted in order to improve maneuverability, and the racket's beams have been stiffened in order to not compromise on the stability of the racket. They said the stability would stay the same, but maneuverability would improve. I thought that it sounded like it should work, but it seemed like it wouldn't, and we would lose a lot in the stability department, and I was wrong. This was literally how it worked in real life. The racket's maneuverability has improved a lot, and honestly, stability seemed to have become even better than the previous version. What I do have to say is that improvement has definitely not come unnoticed in the power department, as I've noticed myself making a bit more effort to make the ball go deeper in the court. However, for my tennis, this wasn't a problem at all. My backhand was thanking Tecnifibre for every down-the-line winner that it produced, and the level of stability was really comparable to something like an 18x20 Wilson blade. And my forehand was screaming, yes please, with every stroke, as the maneuverability of the racket was allowing me to tame any shot with the topspin, no matter how fast I was hitting. Glads, if you feel like the TFight 305 is your next racket of choice, and if you don't mind this rather interesting choice for the paint job, the link to get this thing is going to be down in the description below, like always, together with our exclusive discount code that will save you some cash, and that also really helps the channel. But now,
back to the video.
The 98-inch rather small sweet spot is probably the main negative of the racket because you do need a certain level of skill to be able to handle this frame. Therefore, it's definitely not a racket for beginners. Now, coming up to the net, the fact that the racket's sweet spot is rather small could disturb at least some players, but considering that it's very maneuverable and very stable, if you can handle that sweet spot, you will really enjoy this racket at the net. Maybe it could even be a good choice if you mainly play doubles or if you just like to play doubles in general. Serves were good as well. The only thing that was lacking is power, but I'm a strong guy, so this wasn't really a huge issue for me. I could serve very fast, very precisely, and very consistently. I don't think I served any double faults in the play test, as this racket was injecting confidence into my serve, and that was very pleasing. The first serves were damaging, and the kicks were consistent and very spinny. That's all I want, and I don't really care about the slight lack of power. What's my conclusion on this TFight then? Well, to be short, so far this is probably the best racket I've reviewed in 2025. I haven't reviewed many, but still, this is one hell of a good frame if you're not a beginner. If you like to play aggressively on the baseline and like running up to the net, if you value stability, control, and spin and feel more than you do power, and if you like wide rackets, because although I'm not a fan of the design of the new TFights, people seem to actually like these weirdos. But yeah, if you want all of the things mentioned above, this is definitely one racket to play test for sure.
Glads, by the way, all of the shots in this review are tracked by SwingVision. For those who don't know, SwingVision is an app that analyzes your performance on court and gives you all kinds of statistics and performance summary, like the speed of your shots, type of the shots, and also analyzes it and then tells you what you can improve on and what you do better. And it's just a useful kind of companion on court that you can almost use instead of your coach. And I'm not going to go into too much detail to explain you how exactly the app works, because there's just a lot of features in it. But if you're interested in trying out SwingVision, if you use the link down in the description below to sign up to their yearly subscription, you will also get a free SwingVision stick, which is a device used to mount your iPhone on a fans or whatever to film yourself, which is actually worth like $100 if you just buy it separately.
Not a bad deal, but yeah, now onto the review. Anyways, that's it from me for today. Check out the grades. My name is Grusha, and I will see you Glads in the next one. Bye-bye.
I just need time.